In retail Afghanistan, the governing party loves its history. Remember its struggle history? Like Nelson Mandela. Remember, we have Nelson Mandela University and Nelson Mandela Bay. And Nelson Mandela, insert word here because the name gets used a lot. Remember, Winnie Mandela. Do you know what they don't look after? Robben Island. You know what else they don't look after? Nelson Mandela's house. So they like the name. They just don't like any of the history actually attached to the man.
And this is the news that, Nelson Mandela's house in Houghton in Johannesburg is basically, well, a shithole. The pool doesn't work anymore. All the furniture's gone. Everything has been stripped. The only things left in Nelson Mandela's house, ironically, are books. The jokes write themselves in retail Afghanistan. But this is the house of, the great statesman of the ANC, the guy who made the ANC palatable to Western libs. And yet, his house is a shithole, just like everything else the ANC touches. Makes you wonder, if Nelson Mandela was such a wonderful guy, how come his family don't give a shit whatsoever about everything he's left behind?
Yes, I mean, it's deeply weird because obviously in the Soviet Union, you may recall that the Soviet Union was deeply wedded to its ideological founders. So much so that you may recall that in Leningrad, they actually had the entombed body of Lenin, which actually became a monument for people to go see. You would almost assume that a communist party, like the ANC, would almost adopt the same degree of reverence to Nelson Mandela. I mean, certainly we hear about the Rainbow Nation and the great deeds that the man did. And yet, everything that the man held dear to himself, everything that's connected to the man, has not been maintained. I mean, nothing else in the state's been maintained. I mean, look, for example, ESCOM. We don't have electricity. That didn't maintain ESCOM. So it's hardly surprising that the actual sacred items attached to the man himself hold no value to the ANC. It's just his so-called, let's call it his legacy currency, the currency which they use to buy votes. But you know what else the ANC needs? Money. Do you know how they're going to actually obtain that? They're going to sell off Nelson Mandela's personal items, such as his ID books and his personal belongings. You know who's probably also going to buy him? White Monopoly Capital. What do you think of that?
I mean, I did find it a bit strange. Nelson Mandela died, and his estate was worth like 40 million rand when he died. I mean, I don't know how. He had no money till he was like 65 when he left prison. Then he became the president for 5 years, and somehow he got, 40 million rand in cold, hard cash assets when he died. Where's that gone? No one really knows because the family are fighting over the house that doesn't really exist anymore. And now the estate of Nelson Mandela are going to sell everything valuable that belonged to the man, including artworks and ID books and who knows what else. For communists and people that care about the revolution, I'm just seeing a whole lot of just cold-hearted capitalism right here. Like, I wonder what Nelson Mandela, as a member of the Communist Party, would think when his ID book fetches like 500,000 rand at an auction.
And you know that the guy who's buying that is probably Jan van Riebeck, right? So the irony is right themselves. Because let's face it, if these items were so sacred, I can think of a few billionaires in the ANC that could probably afford to buy all of this with the tax write-off. You notice how they never do that? Stranger.
Yeah, I suppose it's not that strange. I mean, I suppose, Nelson Mandela, he was useful because he went on Oprah and he spoke with Michael Jackson and he made the ANC look cool and Bill Clinton was so impressed. And then when he died, because the ambulance, sort of stopped on the side of the road on the way to the hospital, that's why he died. And when he died, the ANC sort of just quickly forgot about him. We had the fake translator at Orlando Stadium where, next to Barack Obama, which, by the way, to this day is still the event that was the most dangerous in Barack Obama's entire presidency. It was the biggest security risk of all time to an American president. Still so, thanks to Rita Afghanistan right here. But this is the ANC way. Remember, previously we spoke about the other places, like they had that Lily's farm in Rivonia, and they had the capture site in Howick. All these places are just going to shit. They're not maintained. No one cares about them. The only people that actually pay anything is those who visit these places and, get the entrance fee. 100% of those people who visit those places are like white libs anyway. Like, if you don't care about your history, no one else is going to care about it for you. And the ANC seems really keen on no one remembering them.
Absolutely. But it's actually worthwhile also considering the other items of Mandela's that is now up for sale, including the Madiba shirts. Remember those famous shirts? They're being sold. It's literally selling the shirts off his back.
Strange, you talk about the Madiba shows. I thought Michael Beaumont bought all of those.
Well, you might be surprised to learn that the other things that they're selling is also his sunglasses, his reading glasses, his walking stick, a tea set, a bronze cast of his fist, his hearing aids, and his own personal Bible. I don't know about you, Ramon, but I mean, Nelson Mandela actually had quite a big extended family. You would have thought that they'd want some of his stuff at least as keepsakes for his dad, from his grandfather. Like these guys have no shame, man. Like selling his bloody hearing aids and his personal Bible. I mean, come on, man. I know you want some cash, but jeez.
A bit of dignity, but as we say in Ritadani-san, this is what's called Ubuntu. We're going to absolutely sell the family silver so we can go drink on the weekend in the Shabin. That's all it is. Oh, in this case, we'll sell the family hearing aids because, Nelson Mandela put them in his ears once or twice. So it must be worth a bob or two.
Now, that joke about, they're all just trying to grab a quick buck for something to drink in a Shabin isn't actually that funny. Because if you actually look at Nelson Mandela's grandchildren, a few of them are alcoholics and they have had a few run-ins with the police for alcoholism and getting violent when they're full of alcohol. So this is actually very true. So yes, you're literally drinking away your grandfather's legacy. Retard, understand, baby.
Yeah, and as for Cyril Ramaphosa, the so-called billionaire who, loved Nelson Mandela like a father, shame on you. You're allowing this to happen despite all the billions that the white monopoly capitalists have given to you over the course of your so-called career. I mean, this man said he'd rather be a weak president than divide the ANC. It's happening. A weak presidency, a divided ANC, and selling off the Nelson Mandela family silver because, no one actually cares about it. If they don't care about it, I don't think we should care about the ANC at all in this regard.
Yeah, Ramon, but I still come back to the whole, they're selling his bloody Bible, mate. I have one of General Jan Smut's Bibles, literally hand-signed by him. Me personally. Like, there's certain things you keep of people's because they hold sentimental value. Like, it's his damn Bible. Come on, man. Like, there's no shame. Like, does Cyril not wake up in the morning and think, this is Tata. This is like my second father. Maybe I should just hold on to his tea sets and his Bible and, maybe his reading glasses. His walking stick. It'd be nice to have his walking stick in my house. They don't care. They literally don't care. They're like, no, let it get sold to some Western force liberal that wants to virtue signal because they hold Nelson Mandela's Bible in their house. Like, it's just shameless, mate. It's just shameless. But you know what? Perfectly in line with the ideological policies of Rita Danistan.